Hey guys, thanks so much for hopping on today. I'm really thrilled that you're here. And just to make sure that everyone is on the same page, if you can possibly just let me know that you have your, I'm sorry about that, that you all can hear and you can see me okay, I'd appreciate it. Okay, great. I'm so glad you guys are on. And before we get started, let me ask you, who here wants to be happier in the future than you've been in the past? Raise your hands. I can't see you, but raise your hands. Who here wants to be more successful in the future than they've been in the past? Again, raise your hands if you're doing that. And who here wants to have more money in the future than they've had in the past? Again, raise your hands. Thank you so much. My name is Jennifer Glass with Business Growth Strategies International, and we're here to talk about how we can get your business to the next level in as little as 30 days. So let's hop into the program. Let's talk about what we're actually going to be covering, and we'll go from there. So moving forward, let's start with what we're going to cover. What we're going to cover is how I went from making $8 an hour to helping business owners make millions in their businesses and now have my own financial freedom. We're also going to cover the 5 myths you've been told by others that hold you back from getting more revenues and the 3 keys for getting off to a fast start and growing your business. Now, friends, if I can just ask you, please, as we're going through the program today, if you can please just hold your questions until the end so that way we can make sure that we get everything covered, because I have a whole long program that I work with my clients on, and I can't possibly cover everything in a quick 30, 40-minute program today. So let's just hold your questions till the end. With that, let's actually get started. So let's talk about the first thing I said we were going to talk about, and that is how I went from making $8 an hour to helping business owners make millions in their businesses and now have my own financial freedom. So I started working in this Chinese restaurant at $8 an hour. Now, at $8 an hour, yeah, in like the 1920s, there was actual money there. But the problem is that in 1990s, in early 2000, $8 an hour was not a lot of money. There's absolutely no financial freedom to do whatever it is that you wanted to do. So I ended up going to work for a company called Net2Phone, which was one of the first voice over internet companies. And one of the benefits that I had there was I was exposed to sales and marketing and so many other aspects in the business world that allowed me to really get to know how to actually focus on what I need to do to generate more sales, more revenue, how to market a product to really make a difference. And I was lucky enough that I got an $8 million contract for a client in China. I locked up the exclusive market in China. And what I was doing there, every time that the client sent in a wire payment of $200,000 to $300,000, I got a whopping 1%, or sorry, $1,000. So it was 1/2 of 1%, about, in terms of what I was making in commission, plus the base salary, which stunk. And I realized there was no way that I can possibly make money at only getting 1/3 to 1/2 of 1% in terms of commission. So I realized I wasn't going to get there with the financial freedom that I wanted. What was I going to do? So, friends, I know that a lot of you can probably relate to all of the options that are out there. And I was pulling my hair, but I'm a little too vain for this to have been a picture of me. So I use this picture. It represents what I was doing. This is exactly where I was in terms of what was actually happening. And there's so many options out there, so many people, gurus, consultants, books, magazines, you name it. I attended conferences and seminars searching for answers. Finally, I met my coaches. You see on the left, Keith Eickley and Rachel Surgis, they're America's Extreme Marketing experts, along with on the right, ABC Secret Millionaire James Malinchak. Working with Keith, Rachel, and James has been such a benefit in my business. It's transformed my business, And friends, I believe the same thing that happened to me will be the same turning point for you as well in your journey to making millions in your own businesses as well. So let's just quickly touch a little bit more about me. I'm CEO of Business Growth Strategies International. We're a coaching, payment processing, and marketing services agency. I'm an ambassador and the official presenter for Small Business Development Center, which supports over 1 million small business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs each year at nearly 1,000 locations nationwide. I also have a Speaker Bureau membership with several top global accounting firms, banks, and SCORE. Again, organizations that work with small businesses. I'm also a 3-time top college speaker, and I've been featured in a whole bunch of various publications. And if you think being featured in these kinds of publications would benefit you, raise your hand, and we can talk about that later. So because I was, my experience in relationships, I was lucky enough that I was a contributor and co-author with James Malinchak in Reach Your Greatness. And my book is The Bottom Line That Matters, available now at retailers like Amazon, where I share many of the strategies and solutions that I have used to help my clients with over the years in my book. But we're going to cover some of those today on our program. Like I promised you, there's not going to be any generic content or fluff. It's really going to be actionable items that we can look at in the business that we're going to be working on. So let's talk about the 5 myths you've been told by others that have been holding you back. Myth number 1, you've been told by others that hold you back, you can just wing it. Now, let me ask you, if you were going to build a house, would you build a house without blueprints? Or if you were going to be traveling cross country from New Jersey to California, New York to California, would you drive without a GPS or a map? Would you be looking at what it is that you can do and just fly by the seat of your pants? If you don't have a plan and you don't have systems in place, it's going to just be like throwing stuff against the wall to see what sticks. And at the end of the day, you know what happens when that happens. This is what happens. You're sticking your head in the sand. You're not thinking clearly and say, yeah, I can just do whatever and I'm going to get somewhere. Myth number 2, you've been told by others that hold you back, you can just advertise your services anywhere. All right, so there's Google, there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there's newspapers and magazines, there's direct mail, etc. But let me ask you, how many of you are throwing away money on marketing and advertising your services anywhere just because someone, some guru out there said you have to advertise on Google, you have to advertise on Facebook, all of these different places, and you're just throwing money at these media outlets to get you people? Now, let me tell you something. There are so many people that are media sales reps that are looking at keeping your program in place and delivering mediocre results because that's how they keep you coming back, because everyone is on the same playing field. If you don't play with the rest of the flock and you become the leader instead of the follower, you are now going to find the people that are going to want to work with you. You need to have your message. Myth number 3, you've been told by others that hold you back, you don't need a message to win customers. I just said you need a message, right? Only 1 to 3% of buyers are now buyers. Now, let me ask you, how many of you have heard messages out there, call us now? Yay, call me now. Am I calling you? Why am I going to call you? Another one, call for a free estimate. Yay, I want a free estimate. What does that mean? I'm giving you an opportunity to sell me. Do I want to be sold? Do you want to be sold? You don't want to be sold. You want to know how something is going to answer your problem. Another one, call now, operators are standing by. Because I care the operator is standing by. Remember, we've seen those calls to actions out there all over the place. You look in any paper, ad, call now, schedule an estimate, consultation, whatever it is. If you don't focus on the fact that only 1 to 3% of buyers are now buyers, which means 97 to 99% of buyers are maybe sometime or never buyers, right? You need to have a message that's actually going to be focusing on what you're doing, because otherwise, what's the point? We also need to focus on how do we give compelling information to engage and get their emails. Why? Because as soon as somebody comes to my website, somebody clicks on an ad, goes to my landing page. If they don't have a reason to send me their email address for me to hold that email to be able to market them later, I am never going to speak with them again. If I don't have that compelling information, think about it this way. That schedule a free estimate. I don't want that. I don't even know what you're giving me unless I'm a now buyer because I'm in so much pain. That dentist that says, are you suffering that your teeth are killing you? Call now to schedule an appointment. That makes me a now buyer because I'm in so much pain. But if you're talking about vacations, call now to schedule a free vacation planning session. You know what? I don't know if I want to use you because I can probably talk to other people that can give me better solutions. So you're not going to get me. But if you give me the 10 best places to go if you have kids that are under 5, that are kid friendly for kids under 5, now that's something for me to look at if I'm in that market. And again, you have to market me based on who I am, which goes back to other points we'll be touching on soon. Myth number 4, you've been told by others to hold you back. Everything you do on a regular basis produces great results. Now, friends, let me ask you this morning, how many of you have done things in your business already today that has produced zero value in your business? A lot of us do. We go on Facebook, we go on LinkedIn, we go on Twitter, we check the news, we check our email. A lot of these things are not producing great results. They're probably not producing revenue for you. There's a principle called the Pareto principle, which was based on a 1906 management principle of an Italian economist whose name happened to be Pareto, who said 80% of what you do is going to translate to 20% of what you do translates to 80% of your daily value. He actually put it in lines of the economy, but the 80-20 rule, we've all heard that. And it's very common in terms of what's actually out there for what's actually going on. So let's talk about the kinds of areas that you may be looking at. And by the way, some people even say it's now 90-10, but let's look at some of those areas. What are you doing in your daily basis that is going to focus? Are you looking at your pricing? Are you looking at your profitability in your business so that you can see, I am going to have X dollars coming in from all of these programs? Are you focused on creating partnerships that are going to be producing those results? These are a whole bunch of areas that we need to look at if you're going to be producing value in your business. Myth number 5, you've been told by others that hold you back. Customers are searching you out because they love your service. This is a simple question, and I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be nobody, but how many of you here are from Nike, Disney, or Coke? Really? No one? What a surprise. The reason I ask those companies is because those companies are all known based on we've been dealing with them for our entire life or for many, many years. Disney, we all know people that went to Disney. They seek out the parks, they seek out the movies, they seek out the shows. Disney is a name brand. Coca-Cola, Nike, same thing. They have people searching them out because they love them. You and I, clients, prospects, don't know us yet. We have to find them, which goes to how do they find us? We need to know how to actually get them to know who we are. And it's up to us to bring them to us. It's not up to someone else because they don't know who we are. Let's talk about the third thing I said we were going to talk about, the 3 keys for getting off to a fast start and growing your business. So key number 1 for getting off to a fast start and growing your business, you need to be clear on what it is you're offering your clients and how you're messaging them. Remember we said earlier, if your messaging is such that you are not targeting your clients in a clear fashion, what's going to happen? Guess what? All of a sudden, they are not going to find you because you are marketing men's shoes to a woman. You're marketing women's heels to a men's basketball team. You're marketing, and God forbid, please don't, marketing tobacco products to children. They don't make sense. The ad is going to fall flat. Wrong offer, wrong audience, wrong time is going to fail. you have to be clear on what it is you're offering and how you're messaging them. You also need to be paying attention to an avatar and a customer journey. Now, let me ask you folks, who here knows what an avatar is? And I'm not referring to James Cameron's Blue People in terms of an avatar. And by the way, I did a podcast recently. The gentleman that did the podcast with me said your avatar is your unicorn with a golden horn and sprinkles all over. Pretty much matches. Your avatar is your ideal representation of your ideal client, which means if I am marketing to a mother of two, single mother of two that needs to buy this solution for her children, that is a way to market her because she is going to react. Whereas John is going to not pay any attention because he is not a single mother that needs this unless his sister, girlfriend, whatever needs that solution. So you have to be clear on how you're doing it. The customer journey also says when somebody first realizes that they have a need, that's where they start figuring out, all right, where do I go and how do I move forward? All the way to becoming your brand ambassador. By the way, who here wants to have a ton of people representing them to others so that they can refer you business? All of us, because that is the best way for us to move forward. Let's talk about the thought zone, which is involved in the messaging. The thought zone says, how do you get into your prospects' minds? You need to be looking at the avatar and the pain point. Now, again, the avatar we talked about, and the pain point is what is keeping them up at night? There's a statistic that says, according to a UC San Diego study, we receive 34 gigabit worth of data on a daily basis. You wake up in the morning, very first thing you do, your alarm goes off, or your kids are jumping in bed with you. However you're getting up, there's a point of data that's immediately being hit to the brain. You turn on your phone, you turn on the TV, get the news, make your coffee, look at the paper, whatever it is you're doing, you're driving to work, getting your kids out to school, all of those pieces of data are out there. And as a result, there's walls that get built up in front of us. You need to figure out, how do I actually get behind that wall? How do I break that wall to get in there? What does that mean? Again, come up with what is the pain point. If the pain point is a business owner cannot get payroll this week, how do you answer their need for creating additional sales? Now, if you are helping a company with lead generation, that's an ideal way. You give them the ability to say, I am going to create new leads for you. I am going to find people that want to speak with you. That is answering a pain point so that they can figure out what they need. And that is what we need to think about when we're looking at how we move forward. Key number 2 for getting off to a faster and growing your business, your market dominating position. Now, how many of you have heard of a unique selling proposition? A USP, unique selling proposition, is something that says you can move from A to B to C to D, and it separates you from your business. There's also a continuum from a company defined USP all the way up to a definitive USP. The company has been around 5 years. Anyone that hasn't been around 5 years or more doesn't get there. It's also your company strength, whatever is there. A definitive USP is when you have an IP protection, trademark, patent, whatever it is, that's there. But let's look at it as an example. There's an endodontist, periodontal disease specialist rather, who has the only periodontal disease office within 100 miles of Detroit. That's great. That's an amazing USP because if you're within 100 miles of Detroit, especially farther away from the next one, you're going to this periodontal disease specialist. But there's a statistic that says only 50% of Americans are going to develop periodontal disease at some point in their lifetime. So now that USP falls away because the 50% that don't have it, all of them believe they're going to be the 50% that don't get it. The other thing also is as soon as someone else opens up a periodontal disease office closer, now those people are going to go there. Let's look at what a market dominating position is. And again, it's what separates you from your competition. Your market dominating position says, and let's use an endodontal specialist, the root canal. If you have root canal, most places after insurance, assuming you have insurance, is between $400 to $600 after insurance for a root canal. A lot of people don't have that much money lying around in their bank account. So if this endodontist says, I am going to make it super easy for you, I'm first of all a pain-free specialist, and I'm making it pain-free on your wallet as well. How? Because I am going to provide financing. And by the way, I am going to cover your financing expense. So you're going to have 0% financing because I am covering it for you so that you can take advantage of our installment payment plan. Now, all of a sudden, there's a huge difference because you made it pain-free on the mouth, pain-free on the wallet, and it's so much easier. And that separates you from your competition because you're not likely going to do that. Now, in your business, you can think about what it is really that you can say is going to separate you from your competition. The next thing is, why am I going to choose you? Again, if I have endodontist A who just does GE Healthcare, which has so many drawbacks, or you have endodontist B who does the financing solution and pays for the financing program and all of those areas, there is going to be a difference. And if A is especially not a pain-free endodontist, and unfortunately, I personally had that non-pain-free endodontist, there is going to be more of an issue and why I'm not going to want to choose you. Let's look at this ad. Again, remember, what is going to make me stand out and want to choose you? Come smile with us. 3 doctors, 3 dentists that are sitting there and saying, yeah, I got it. Perfect, right? Come smile with us. Yay! Am I going to go to them? Let's look at this one. Which of these 3 dental services not covered by insurance do you want for free? Okay. Now, let's look. Fluoride treatment, $65. Teeth whitening, $195. Oral cancer screening, $65. Now, I can choose any of these services that insurance typically doesn't cover on its own for free. By the way, folks, fluoride treatment, you're pretty much getting after they finish dealing with your mouth. Teeth whitening, the stuff that they're putting in is usually whitening your mouth. It's not complete, but there is some sort of whitening. And oral cancer screening, as they're in your mouth, they're looking for these things anyway. So they're already doing it, but they're telling you, which of these do you want for free? Now let's look at this ad. Which ad do you think connects? The Come Smile With Us or the which of these 3 dental services not covered by insurance do you want for free? If you think about it, the which of these 3 services is the ad that is going to bring more people because it stands out. It breaks through the pain points, breaks through that wall, and it breaks through to the point where it's that market dominating position over the other ad. Why am I going to choose you? Because you're giving me a choice to get something for free without having to pay for it. All I have to do is come in, whatever is covered by insurance of the oral checkup and everything, that's going to be taken care of, but then you're going to be providing the rest of it, right? That's an amazing deal. Key number 3 for getting off to a faster and growing your business, the BGSI Profit Acceleration System. So by focusing on the certain areas in your business, you can see how that can quickly add to your revenues, cash flow, and your happiness, success, and more money, right? Add to your revenues. Let's look at an example. If we have a company that has a baseline of $250,000 a year in sales or in total revenue with 1,000 leads, converting at 25%, which means that there is 250 leads at 10 transactions, each client at $100, that is what gives us the $250,000. And then we have profits of 25% margin, which gives us $62,500. So let's now look, what happens if we take a modest increase of 10% because this business used some of the strategies that we talked about, like the joint venture strategies, the partnerships, and things along those lines that can make the difference, that market dominating position. All of a sudden now, that 1,000 goes to 1,100. The 25% conversions goes to 27.5 because it is clear, why am I going to choose you? The transactions, we offered more reason for clients to want to buy from us, different upsell opportunities, cross-sell opportunities, downsell opportunities that we can work with. The prices, they learned how to avoid price friction by properly offering the deals to their clients to make them want to buy more. That now brings us to 365,000 and change in revenue. And we lowered expenses, which increased profit because we looked at how we can look at terms of what you're dealing with. We looked at what is actually going on in terms of the expenses that are going out, seeing if there's vendors that may offer us better programs with what we have. That now gives us over $100,000 in profit, right? That is $38,000 more because we put in a few extra pieces at the end of the day in terms of what our profit is. But let's take a look though, what happens if we really paid attention to the strategies and we said we are going to increase our leads now by 50%, everything by 50%, because we really focused on making those partnerships, the joint venture strategies. We focused on how do we make our market dominating position really stand out and how do we keep clients moving forward. All of a sudden, everything goes through. You're now at 1.264 million in revenue and $474,187 in total profit, right? $474,000 in profit. That's a 750% overall increase, or $411,000 in new profit. Who here does not want $411,000 in more profit that goes to your bottom line? We all do. We can all use that. So let's talk about what's actually in the BGSI Coaching Profit Acceleration System. What we look at first is we look at your financials. Where is your company right now? Right? You've all heard, if you don't know your numbers, there's a problem. You have to know what your revenue is. You have to know what your margins are, your gross and net margin. So that way you can focus on your business moving forward. Because the only thing you know is, in my head, I know my business is pulling in $25,000 a month, but you don't know exactly where your outlay is. You don't know what's coming in next. You don't know what your receivables are versus your payables. You don't know what all of those different pieces. You need to focus, because otherwise you're flying by the seat of your pants. Remember, we said earlier, without the plans in place and the systems in place to be monitoring everything that you're doing, your company is in danger. You need to have the right systems and the right numbers so that you know how you can move forward. Because if you don't know that every sale is going to be producing on average a 40% return in whatever that dollar amount is, let's take a $10,000 sale, it's going to be producing a $4,000 return, then at least I know I have $4,000 I can spend to get a new client, as long as I know it is going to be producing multiple $10,000 orders. If it's going to be a one-time order, then obviously I can't have $4,000, but I know where I can be. You need to know where you're going to be in your business so that you can be moving forward down the road, and then we can figure those pieces out to move forward. Let's look at your profit acceleration now. Once we put in, and we start with a $225,000 example on the current revenue in a business. So what we do is we take all of these different areas, the market dominating position, increasing leads, joint ventures, marketing, downsell, upsell, cross-sell, etc., and we increase those areas conservatively, anywhere from 1% to 15%. And we look at what we're doing in those strategies. So the expected increase in revenue is on $308,000 over the course of the year on this demo company for what they're doing, which would be producing a new annual revenue of $533,000, right? On the $225,000, they're at a current profit of $85,000. And when we do the strategies, they move their annual profit to $246,000, which gives an anticipated 5-year profit impact of $806,000, right? The profit increase in year one by going through these various strategies with conservative increases based on what we're doing in the business and implementing accordingly gives us $161,278 more in total profit, or 189% more in terms of overall profit on your business. Now, who here cannot use an additional $161,000? And this, by the way, remember, we said 10 or 50% earlier. We can still go higher. These are conservative numbers. And this is designed to show you what we're talking about here is realistic for any business. You can increase whether you're at $100,000 right now, you're at $500,000 right now, you're at $1 million, 10 million, 100 million. There's ways that we can keep moving forward in terms of where we are. The formula for figuring everything out again is the number of leads multiplied by your percentage of your conversion rate, which gives us our number of customers. Multiply the number of transactions by your dollar average sale, which gives us our total revenue, which then gives us our gross margin. Well, we take our gross margin, and that then gives us our profit. So let me ask you, who here has learned something new today or was reminded of something that they already knew? Everybody raise your hands, say me, and give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much for listening and going through this. Now, I wanted to share a couple more pieces with you and show you why these strategies really do make a difference in terms of your business. So James Malinchak, America's Secret Millionaire, James Malinchak, just had something he wanted to share with you guys.
Hey, this is James Malinchak, featured on ABC's hit TV show Secret Millionaire. And if you are in business, if you're a business owner and you want to bring your business to new heights, then work with my friend Jennifer. You'll be so grateful you did. Let me tell you why. She can help you with payments. She can help you with coaching. And she can help you with your marketing. And we all need a coach. The greatest, most successful people in the world have coaches and have advisors. And if you want to accelerate your success for your business, then work with Jennifer today. You will be so grateful you did.
Wow, that was great. Thank you so much, James. So again, the greatest and most successful people have coaches. Increase your business, work with Jennifer. You'll be grateful you did. Let's look at another one. Becky said, just wanted to give a huge shout out for Jennifer. Talked for 30 minutes, gave me an idea that will net her thousands of dollars. Another one, Jane says, Jennifer is a wealth of information and resources to help me in my business. Experience in so many areas to help business owners increase their marketing, sales, and profits. These are all people that are incredible in what they do, and I thank them so much. So let's again talk about what we learned today, how I went from making $8 an hour to helping business owners make millions in their businesses, and now have my own financial freedom. The 5 myths you've been told by others that hold you back from getting more revenues, and the 3 keys for getting off to a fast start in growing your business. So let's talk about what we're looking at today. So the strategic business assessment and review is normally $4,997. And with that, you get the 8 critical pieces that every business owner must address to attract new clients and generate more revenue. And by the way, friends, when you sign up today, you're going to be getting a special bonus. Our small group mini mastermind think tank program valued at $5,000 and more up. Our weekly group recorded coaching calls valued at $10,000 and up. So after working with me, you are going to know the right ways to market your customers so that you can reach more buyers. How many of you want to know the right ways to market to your customers so that you can reach more buyers? Raise your hands. You are going to know how small adjustments will equal big results for you. How many of you want to know how small adjustments will equal big results for you? Say me. How many of you want to know how you will save an enormous amount of time, energy frustration, effort, and wasted money. You are going to know how customers will magnetically attract to you for your services and solutions. How many of you want customers to be magnetically attracted to you for your services and solutions? You are going to know how to avoid the number one mistake everyone makes when marketing to your prospects that causes people to say no to you. How many of you want to avoid the number one mistake everyone makes when marketing to your prospects that causes people to say no to you? You are going to know how to ethically get anyone, anytime, any place to love you and want to give you money. How many of you want to know how to ethically get anyone, anytime, any place to love you and want to give you money? You are going to be getting all of these when you work with me. So you're going to be getting also the Strategic Business Assessment and Review, valued again at $4,997 and up. You're going to be getting the weekly group recorded coaching calls, valued at $10,000 and up. You're going to be getting the small group mini mastermind think tank, valued at $5,000 and up, which gives a total value of $19,997. But I'm not asking you today to pay $19,997. The investment today is $2,997, a savings of $16,000. That's an incredible deal, right? Deal or deal? So get started now. Go to this site, http://faw6d.url.us and use coupon code SBAR20 to get the savings. Now, friends, I do have to let you know that the assessments take a lot of time. So as a result, the coupon code here is limited to only 10 coupon codes. So after 10 people have used it, there's not going to be the ability to use any more of these coupon codes. And it also expires this Friday night, January 17th, because in business, speed of implementation is key. If you do not implement quick, if you do not act quickly, someone else is going to steal your lunch and you are going to miss the boat. That is why these assessments are so important to your business. And it's really important that you figure out how to move forward. So let's talk about our guarantee to you for the program. You have a 30-day guarantee. If for any reason you don't think this is the program for you, once we're going through the assessment and we complete it, we'll refund your investment. Flat out. If I don't earn your trust and the value, I don't deserve your money. It's that simple. You can get this entire new system potentially for free. Why? The first is we're going to give you a receipt for continuing education. We're going through this assessment. It's going to work for you. Now, again, I don't know how your business is set up, but I can tell you that when I invest money in my business, I tell my accountant at the end of the year, this is what I put in my business for continuing education and enhancing my business. That immediately comes off my top line numbers, which allows me to not have to cover that on taxes. The second way that you can potentially get this entire new system for free, implement one strategy. It most likely is going to pay you back more than just the investment, but at least the investment. 2 strategies can pay you back double or more. The third, potential lifetime value is huge, right? If you get an additional $100,000 a year for the next 10 years, that's $1 million. You get an additional $10,000. That's $100,000 in 10 years lifetime value. And I'm only saying 10 years. Many of you have many more years than that in terms of what you're doing. And friends, please do not let the financing of this program or the investment be an obstacle. We have financing solutions that can help you get this done to make it actually work for you, because it's so important. If you can see how your business can grow, that is so important, because it's really, you implement one of these strategies, you can shoot through the roof and it's going to cover your entire investment. And I have a friend who said, listen, if you're broke, you've only got $3,000 in your bank account, make yourself just fall on the sword. I'm not saying that because he says that, but he says fall on your sword, make the investment, right? There's so many things you have to invest in yourself. There's good debt and bad debt. Bad debt is when you pay for a vacation on credit card and you don't have the money. Good debt is when you're investing in yourself to help you grow. Those are all important, and it's extremely important. Think about that as you're going through it. So let's go through again what you're going to be getting in the program. You're going to be getting the Strategic Business Assessment and Review valued at $4,997 and up. You're going to be getting the recorded weekly group coaching calls for 6 months valued at $10,000 and up. You're going to be getting our small group mini mastermind and think tank valued at $5,000. All told, once again, the value is $19,997 and up. And again, we're not asking you for that today. Your investment today for the first 10 people is $2,997. Again, a savings of $16,000. So get started now. Go to this website, faw6d.url.us, and use coupon code SBAR20 to save the $2,000 on the Strategic Business Assessment, as well as getting those bonuses added onto your account. So again, I thank you so much, and I'm going to open it up now for questions. So do we have any questions coming in? Wow, I don't have a whole lot of questions, do I? So, friends, what I'm going to ask you is, as you are thinking about what you're doing in your business, as what it is that you are looking at in terms of, I can do A, B, and C to get from point A to point B to point C in your business. And after implementing a strategic partnership, after implementing the market dominating position, all of these are areas in the business that are really going to make a huge difference in terms of your business. And one thing that the Strategic Business Assessment and Review is going to do is it is going to uncover those areas in your business that we can exploit to maximize the revenues for you. It's really important when you're looking at that. How can I really make sure that I see all of those areas to make it stand out for what I am actually looking at? So when you're looking at all of those pieces, think about that from that perspective, right? We all know that there's different areas that we need to focus on in business, but having that assessment is going to be key to make sure that you can continue all the way through and grow your business. Chaim, thank you. We will definitely chat when we have our appointment in a couple of weeks. But if there's anything, though, you do want to ask that's more general now, definitely throw it out. Eric, Ben, see who else was on there. Dr. Jewel, and anyone else that's on here that I don't see in the chat. If there's anything there that you do think that you want to ask right now, you can definitely ask it. Otherwise, you can certainly ask me via the, let me just get back my contact information for you. So you can reach out to me here, Jennifer@bgsillc.com. Call me, whatever it is, we can definitely have a chat. I'm all about helping small businesses. I do this because I really believe that helping you in your business is going to ultimately contribute to your community, make your community stronger, because you are going to be hiring more staff to take on the work that you're doing. You're going to be donating more money to the people in the community, to the various organizations, to the schools, to the churches, synagogues, to the police, to the ambulance corps, to the you name it. And there's the broader community also with causes, whether it's breast cancer research or whatever, all of those things. I've seen my clients continue to grow because they knew I can do A, B, C, and D in my business to get me there after these assessments and working through the process to know how you get there. And by the way, once the assessment is done, you get a full report of all of the pieces in the assessment so that you see, here is where I can really focus. Here are the things that we can do right now to get started moving forward. So I thank you all for coming out or coming on today. And I look forward to hearing from you all shortly and scheduling these assessments with you. And again, please remember the program is limited to the first 10 people that come in and expires on Friday evening with the coupon code SBAR20. So please make sure that you get that as soon as possible so that you can lock in your program, because I guarantee you they're going to fly out the door very, very fast. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Thanks.